Hello and welcome back to LSC 100. I am Dr. Karuna Saraswat Sharma, your very own bio faculty. In my series of Principles of Inheritance and Variations, today I bring for you Mendel's Laws of Inheritance. Happy learning! Mendel's Laws of Inheritance. So first we have the law of dominance. The first law of inheritance is the law of dominance. There are two factors according to Mendel inside the nucleus which are responsible for the transmission of characters from parent to progeny. These two factors, he said, are in the form of alleles. They are responsible for expression of the trait or a character. One of the allele is dominant and it masks the expression of the other, which is recessive. According to the law of dominance, the recessive allele expresses itself only when it is in a homozygous condition. So what do we mean by a homozygous condition? Homozygous condition means that that same allele is present in a double dose. That means capital T is the allele for tallness and small t is the allele for dwarfness. So when there is a capital T and capital T, the plant becomes tall. When there is a capital T and a small t, that means one dominant and one recessive, heterozygous condition, then the plant becomes a tall plant, and only when the small t is in a homozygous condition, it becomes a dwarf plant. The allele capital T masks the expression of the allele small t in the F1 generation, and therefore when you cross a pure tall plant with a pure dwarf plant, as you can see in the figure here, capital T, the tall pea plant crossed with small t, the dwarf pea plant, these are the pure varieties. When these two are crossed, the only possible gametes in the tall plant is capital T. The only possible gametes in the dwarf plant is small t. When the pollen and the egg of these two plants fuse with each other, then you get the capital T, small t kind of plants, and they are all tall in the F1 generation. Law of segregation. Law of segregation is Mendel's second law of inheritance. There are two factors controlling the expression of a single trait. One factor is dominant and the other is recessive. These factors separate at the time of gamete formation and go to form different gametes. The alleles separate at the time of gametogenesis and the two alleles go to different gametes. As you can see here, the F1 generation which I had shown in the previous law, first generation, all of them were tall and the genotype was capital T, small t. So now when we do selfing of the F1 generation, generally selfing is done when you take a pollen grains of that same flower and dust it on the stigma of the same flower. So when this is done, it is called as selfing. We have to show it as two different things in this cross because that is how we will come to know what a cross is. So we have the plant capital T, small t crossed with capital T, small t. That means the pollen of this flower is put on the stigma of the same flower. So when this is done, the segregation of alleles takes place. What is segregation of alleles? One cell having capital T, small t, okay, and when there is separation of the chromosomes in the meiotic division during the gamete formation, then you will see that sister chromatids separate. First it is the homologous chromosomes, they separate, and since the homologous chromosomes are separating, we have capital T on one of the chromosomes, small t on the other chromosome, and when they separate, we get a capital T separated from small t. That means the alleles have separated. Let me explain this to you. So this is an example where we have homologous chromosomes. So say for example, these are homologous chromosomes. The homologous chromosomes are similar chromosomes. This, for example, is maybe like humans, we have 23 pairs of chromosomes. We can call it chromosome number 1. Suppose this is the chromosome number 1 in a garden pea, and suppose we have a capital T here and a small t here. F2 generation plant, the F1 generation progeny who is selfed for the F2 generation. So when we have this plant, we have got a capital T here and a small t here, because a gene is responsible for expression of a character, trait, or a character. There can be either same allele on both chromosomes, okay, of the homologous pair, that is homozygous condition, or there may be two different alleles on the two chromosomes of a homologous pair. Is it clear? So, whether it is a homozygous condition or this one is the heterozygous condition. So when it is a heterozygous condition, then during the meiotic division, when the chromosomes are aligned on the equator in pairs, which kind of division this is? This is meiosis I. Okay. So during meiosis I, which is a reduction division, metaphase I, these homologous chromosomes will separate, and when the homologous chromosomes separate, we will have a capital T on this side, a small t on that side. Therefore, during the gamete formation, we will have separation of this. This goes on one side, this goes on the other side, this forms one gamete, this forms another gamete. Do you get it? So, yes, very good. As the alleles separate at the time of gametogenesis and the two alleles go to two different gametes, the F2 generation that we get, let's see the F2 generation, a capital T fuses with a capital T from a capital T fuses with capital T to form TT, tall plant. Capital T small t fuse with each other to form a tall plant. Capital T small t fuse with each other to form a tall plant. Small t forms a dwarf plant. So here we have 3 tall plants and 1 dwarf plant, as we have already studied in the monohybrid cross. Okay. So this kind of separation of alleles at the time of gamete formation is called as law of segregation. The heterozygous dominant tall pea plant, capital T small t, during gametogenesis produces 50% gametes which are capital T allele, that is the dominant allele, and 50% gametes have a small t allele which is a recessive allele. Law of independent assortment is the third law of inheritance. The factors controlling two different characters are inherited independently of each other. So here you can see that there are parents who are having yellow seed and round seed, pure variety, and the other parent with green seed and wrinkled seed. When these two parents are taken, when the pollen of one parent and the egg of the other parent is fusing, let us see what happens. The type of gametes that you have in the parent YYRR, that is yellow round, are capital Y capital R and capital Y capital R. The other parent, which is small y small r, the only type of gamete that you see there are only small y small r. When there is a fusion of this, as you can see in the Punnett square, you will find a capital Y capital R small r type of progeny. That means all the progenies are yellow and round. Now when the F1 progeny is undergoing selfing, then the type of gametes that are produced are capital Y capital R, capital Y small r, small y capital R, small y small r. This we have studied in the dihybrid ratio. So when there is a fusion taking place of the pollen of the same flower to the stigma, it comes and then it is going to fuse with the ovum. Then what do we have? 50% of the gametes with a capital Y gene and 50% of the gametes have a small y gene. 50% of the gametes have capital R gene and 50% have got small r gene. 50% of the Y capital Y bearing gametes have a gene capital R and 50% of them have a gene small r. So genotype of gametes formed are 25% frequency of the total gametes produced, that is capital R small r capital Y and small r small y. In the F2 generation, 16 genotypes of 4 phenotypes are formed and these are in the ratio 9:3:3:1, the famous dihybrid cross ratio, as yellow round seeds, yellow wrinkled seeds, green round seeds and green wrinkled seeds, as was shown in the slide. Example, small y and small r in another example. The type of gamete here is YR, here it is YR. Okay, only one type of gamete. When these two fuse, you get a next generation which is capital Y, capital R, small r. All the F1 progeny are yellow and round. Okay. Now, when you're selfing this generation, the type of gametes that you have studied in the dihybrid ratio, here you can see that it was a capital Y and capital R which we started with. A small y was with small r. But see, in the F1 generation, a capital Y has come with small y, capital R has come with small r. The gametes, you have capital Y, capital R, the original one. Capital Y, small r, not the original one. Small y, capital R, not the original one. Small y, small r, the original one. So what have we seen here? There is independent assortment. Capital Y should not always be with capital R. It can be also with a small r. Small y need not always be with a small r. It can also come with capital R. And this is the law of independent assortment.